Hey guys, it's SJ. Happy Baby Name Monday. Welcome round. I've got a brilliant list for you today. Hopefully you've been looking forward to this one. It is one we talked about doing a couple of weeks ago, which is boy names ranked between 500 and 600. So we're kind of trying to see where our comfort zone started and finished when it comes to names. And these are definitely really trendy, almost hipster names for very cool parents. I would say for picking one of these names, you're pretty cool. Like, you're gonna have a name that people are gonna comment on a little bit. They're a bit statement names. They say something about the kind of parent you're gonna be, which is a cool parent. You're gonna be remembered. You're gonna be invited to everything, I think. So let me get on with the name list. If you're brand new, I'm SJ. This is Baby Name Mondays. They happen every single week. They've been going for about a couple of years now, so you will definitely find a name you love. I'll link my full playlist below. And we all get involved over on the community tab, so do make sure you are a subscriber if you like all things baby names. I do go a bit Wiltshire now and again, but let's get on with the name list. Okay, so ranked at number 504 in the UK is a biblical name. We're really hot on biblical names here in the UK, and this one I think will rise, and it's the name Abraham. So we've all heard of Abraham Lincoln, of course, as well over in the US. It's just such a huge association with this name, and it's starting to get used. So a lot of people love it for the nickname options. So Abe is a really lovely name, a bit like a Seb for Sebastian. It's kind of got that long, cool, but then the really short one-syllable nicknames like Abe and Bram. Bram is coming up a lot on forums as a great nickname, and the reason why people are choosing Abraham. So Abraham is very linked to being a religious name. Abraham had a high position of respect in 3 major world faiths: Judaism, Christianity, and Islam. And there's also the Muslim version of this name, Ibrahim, which is lovely as well. I love it. I think it's got like a really unusual sound to it, so it is very unique. It is one of those statement names. As I said, I think people would ask you, oh, that's interesting, how come you chose that? But everyone's heard of it. So what do you think of Abraham? So all the next names rank at the same position, which is so weird. They're all at number 504, which means that the same amount of babies were called these. But the first one is the name Benedict. So Benedict is becoming much more mainstream because of the actor Benedict Cumberbatch, but it has got that kind of, in England, it's got kind of an upper class, kind of a well-to-do, I don't know how to say it, that's global, posh, something like that, kind of connotations to it. And it's also a very Catholic name, so as Pope Benedict, so some people have that as a strong association. But when I was reading lots of forums, because these names are quite unusual, there's less written about them, but there's lots of opinion on the forums, as there is on everything, and it had a really good reaction. Lots of people really liked it. So again, it's just thinking about the nicknames really, because it's a long name. A lot of chatter was, you know, would they be Benny, would they be Ben, and people preferring Benji for Benjamin rather than Benny for Benedict. What do you think? I really like the name Benedict. I think it sounds really on trend because of Benedict Cumberbatch. Has made it a bit more wearable, I think, and he's just really cool. Everyone loves him. It means to bless, which is really nice. Another name I really like, which is also a number 504, is the name Remy. I've definitely talked about the name Remy before, maybe on a Disney name list, because the little rat in Ratatouille is named Remy, and it's very French. It's got a very French feeling to it, and it is gender neutral. You can have Remy for a girl or for a boy. I just think it is such a lovely name. It's really soft and gentle for a boy, but still sounds really trendy and cool, and it's unique enough that it warrants a bit of a trend appeal with it. It means oarsman as well, like oar, steering oar, ship oar, rowing oar. So that's quite cool as well. So if you live near water or you're into that sort of water sports, then it's a really lovely reason to choose it as well. It does have very strong French vibes to it, so it might be that people are ask you like about that, but if you do have French in your family somewhere, otherwise I just think it sounds really lovely. At 504, the name Sullivan. I really like the name Sullivan. Apparently it's one of the most popular surnames in Ireland, and surnames as first names is a massive trend that we've talked about so much here on this channel, and Sullivan is one that comes up a lot. It just got really coolness about it because it's got that double L. Sully is a really cool nickname. The V is really cool for boys. Everyone really likes having those high Scrabble letters. So Sullivan ticks a lot of boxes. It means little dark-eyed one, which is really sweet. If you've got like a tall, dark, handsome husband, or you're a tall, dark and handsome yourself, then you could go with Sullivan. I think it's a really good one. Have you heard it before? A name I've liked for ages but I haven't mentioned yet is at number 534. It's the name Calvin. So I've decided to really like this. Obviously it's so linked to me with Calvin Klein's, the underwear brand, and your Calvins, so maybe that kind of puts people off using it a little bit, but just the sound of it is so great. And Calvin Harris, who's a huge DJ, has kind of made this like, oh yeah, that's a really lovely name, and it's a bit underused, I think, down at number 534. It's got a very rich history, which I tried to read about, but it was apparently originally a surname of Jean Calvin, who was French. He was like a religious leader of some sort, kind of a non-conformist leader. Then there was a Calvinist movement. It all got very deep. I was like, I need to save to read that for another time, because I just really like the name. I think that it's one that, with the L sound in boy names like Sullivan, Calvin, they're quite similar in that way, and the L and the V together just sound really lovely. So I think that it could be one that gets a chance, but would Calvin Klein's always put you off using it? I know you're going to love the next one. It's at 541 and it's the name ORSON. I told you this list is so good. This is definitely like a cool list. This is like the 500s seem to be where it's at a little bit, and ORSON is so lovely, and it means little bear or bear cub. So I just think it's so perfect. If you love the name Bear, it's quite a celebrity name. Bear Grylls, Cheryl Cole has a son called Bear. You might not want to use it, but you could use it as a nickname if your child was called ORSON. Or of course Sunny, which is one of my all-time favourite nicknames. I think would sound brilliant for an ORSON. You know, there's so many Oscars, there's so many Olivers. ORSON would be brilliant. It'd be a great brother for someone like a Noah, like Noah and Orson. But it's a bit of an unusual choice. It's got the literary thing with Orson Welles as well. So I think it's a brilliant one. I think it's so wearable because I think, again, we all have heard it, so we know how to pronounce it and spell it, but it's a bit of a quirkier choice. So what do you think? Next one's really quirky, but I heard this somewhere recently, I'm trying to remember where, but the name Dante. So Dante is really linked to Dante's Inferno, of course. It's at number 549 though. So I don't know, I think it is really, really rare, but I think Dante's Inferno always gets a kind of gothic and dark vibe to the name Dante, and it almost sort of linked to being devilish in some way, but it's actually an Italian name that means lasting or enduring. So it's actually a beautiful name. I wonder if it is really popular in Italy. If you are Italian, tell me, what do you guys think of the name Dante? Jordan Knight from New Kids on the Block called his child Dante, apparently. So that's how cool it is, guys. I don't know why I wrote that down. Anyway, it's a really nice name. I mean, I was a bit into the Divine Comedy and Dante's Inferno and stuff when I was younger, because I was really cool. Now I make baby names on YouTube. So I'm definitely not qualified to talk about what cool people to call their kids, but I just think it is a really lovely name, and I'm really irritating me that I heard this on something recently. It must have been a TV show, and a kid just called Dante, and I was like, I really like it. So if you did as well, tell me, because it's going to bug me forever. What do you think of this next name? This is one my sister loves. It's at number 584, and it's the name Fergus. So I have two F names. I have a Freddie and a Finn, and then my daughter is Evelina, and my sister was really like, oh, you should go for Fergus for a third. It's so Scottish, it's very Gaelic, it's very Irish, it's a huge use in those areas. This had a divisive opinion on forums, I have to let you know. Some people were just like, no way. Fungus comes up a lot, so like fungus meaning like mushrooms. Gus, I think is a brilliant nickname. I've talked about it a lot. I think it is such a cool guy nickname. Gus just sounds like really trendy to me. Fergus, but then other people were like, it's the best name ever. I've had my heart set on this name since I was younger. So what do you think of Fergus? I wonder if it's going to divide us here as well. And number 596 is the name KHALIL. So KHALIL is such a lovely name. I love the spelling of it. I love the double L sounding of it, and it means a lover or a best friend. So kind of like that bosom buddy thing, KHALIL. Isn't that just such a lovely name meaning? I think it just looks so pretty written down. Kal-El is actually the name given to Superman before he leaves Krypton, was that his country, and was renamed as Clark. So it's kind of got vibes of superhero-ness as well. But I think it's a really lovely name. It's Arabic given name. It's obviously a surname as well. KHALIL, that's such a lovely name. And last up at 596, this is the last one in the top 500 to 600 before you go into the 600s. It's another controversial one. It's the name ZIGGY. So ZIGGY for some people feels a little pretentious and a little bit too try hard to be cool, but I really like it. And if you watched the recent massive TV show, Nicole Kidman, Big Little Liars, one of the women has a son called Ziggy, and I think it just worked so well. I'm a huge David Bowie fan, and I just think that Ziggy Stardust is a real reason to choose this in and of itself, but you would definitely have to be quite trendy to do it. It'd have to be into rock. What I loved is that it's the short form of the name Sigmund. I never thought of that. So Sigmund, I'm a real geek over like kind of like forgotten vintage ugly man names. Like Sigmund is quite like a strong name, isn't it? And I think that Sigmund with the nickname Ziggy, just such a cool juxtapositioning of two names. Anyway, that was really, I was enjoying that moment when I read that. So it's got German origin, Ziggy Marley, so Bob Marley's son was called Ziggy, so it's got real music vibes with Bowie and Marley. Couldn't get much more legendary than that, could you? So if you're looking for a real legendary name, so, you know, the chat on forums is more about what if he wants to be a judge when he grows up, or, you know, would he be taken seriously with the nickname Ziggy? And I always think that that's a bit of a silly thing, because you'll do what you want to do, and if you want, you know, you'll go far no matter what your name is. If you're talented at something, let's hope we're not that crazy as people. So I do think if you love the name Ziggy, go for it. Some people were just like, I just love it, I can't love anything more. Some women on forums. In that case, screw what everyone else thinks, do what you love. Another idea for a longer form is the name Ezekiel, which is the name I've mentioned before, which is another Hebrew name. But you could have an Ezekiel who goes by Ziggy, if you're not kind of selling Ziggy in to those around you, or you think it's too out there of a choice. But yeah, what do you think? Those are my top 10 picks of trendy boy names for cool parents. They are ranked 500 to 600. If you want me to go further, I can. I've got like the names right down to the top 1000. They do get a bit weird, maybe a bit less wearable. I think this is a really good bracket to look in if you are after a kind of a unique name for boys. And I'll link the Office of National Statistics spreadsheet so you can go through and search them, because there was loads of great names in this category. Thanks so much for watching. Do leave a request below. Do you want me to do another naming viewers baby names next Monday? Because I could do that if you've got requests for me. Don't forget to hit subscribe. This community is just growing so much and it's so brilliant. I want to do lots more stuff. I want to get all those extra bits we talked about out, like the book and the podcast and stuff, and every subscriber helps with those dreams. So yeah, thanks very much for watching, guys. Have a brilliant week. Later on in this week I've got some vintage stuff coming, some fashion stuff, and maybe a little house tour if I can fit that in as well. So come on round again later this week, or if not, I will see you next Monday. Bye guys.